Good morning, everyone, and thank you to everyone that has joined us so far for this webinar. Not to worry if you do, for anyone that's late, obviously you can watch this back on a recording, but thanks to all that have made it on time for our webinar this morning, which is all about nailing your salon's online presence. And we appreciate it's a strange time at the moment. You're probably not in the salon, so we appreciate you joining us to learn a little bit more about how you can really make use of this downtime to get some of this stuff right for when you are ready to reopen again. So today, the Treatwell team we have, my name is Kate. I am our training team lead for the UK.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dorothy, and I'm Head of Partner Engagement for the UK and Ireland.
Hello, and I'm Katrina. I am an account manager looking after our UK partners.
So I'll take you through what we have in terms of content for today's webinar. So we're going to just start with a couple of notes on listing your business online. So where can you be listed? What good outlets are there to get your business noticed on online portals? The second one is about how you can turn that into online bookings. So where can you actually get booked online and what channels can help you out with that? Then we're going to talk about, on those online channels, how you can increase those reach with great content, what kind of stuff to feature, the do's and the don'ts in terms of content. And then we're going to turn that also into how you would interact online with your current clients and your potential clients to get them booking more often. Then we'll briefly run through a social media checklist, which will just give you a little tick box as to everything you need in terms of making sure your social media is on point as possible. And then finally, we will end with a Q&A session. So we have got some pre-recorded questions that came through as we sent out the invitations for the webinar today. But you'll notice there is also a box where you can ask questions live as well. So do feel free to just ping any questions throughout into the questions tab, and we can also answer any of those either live on the webinar at the end or include the answers in any follow-up material. So firstly, I'm going to hand over to Dorothy, who will talk about listing your business online.
Morning, everybody. So in this section, we're just going to go through the different kind of channels that are available to you to list your business. So this is all about getting noticed online and all about promoting your business on various social media channels that are available to you. Now, we know it's a really saturated world out there. There's a lot of social media, a lot of platforms and a lot of noise. So it's all about choosing the platforms that are most suitable for your business. Obviously, the beauty business is a really visual, we like to showcase your amazing work as much as possible in photographic or video form. So the best platforms for this are obviously Instagram, where you can showcase your work the best. Facebook, which is great for interacting with people, but also showcasing photographs and videos. And obviously Google reviews are really important when people are searching for your salon on Google to make sure that you're reputable. And just to add to that, Pinterest is a really nice place as well to actually gain reach. It's a very visual social media, and so you can showcase some of your best work on there and actually gain a following on some of your other channels. It's important to note and think about what your audience actually uses. So, perhaps ask some of your current clients what they actually use in terms of social media to gauge your kind of clientele. And also, where do the general kind of public look for inspiration with regards to beauty? Because you want to be where they're trying to find the best salons and the best kind of inspo. So just moving on to, this is our 5-minute business page quick start guide. So this is the bare basics of kind of what you need in order to set up your Facebook or Instagram profile. So you just need to make sure that you have a business account set up for both of those platforms. And obviously this will be recorded, so you can check back at this checklist and just make sure that you've got this all in hand. And Katrina will be explaining later on why it's so important that you have business accounts set up prior to starting to engage with Connect and your clients. So I will hand over to lovely Katrina now.
Hello. So being bookable online, just wanted to take you guys through all the different channels where we can actually make you bookable. So obviously, I think we've all heard of having an online booking button on your website. We know us. Hopefully you work with us. But you can also get booked through social media. So later on the slides, we're going to be taking you through how to create fantastic content. So off the back of that, we want you to be able to actually get bookings. So let's take you through. So we can make you bookable through Instagram. We can put a book now button on your Instagram page, Facebook, obviously your website, as well as Reserve with Google, which is one that often gets missed. So how do we install the online booking button? It's actually super easy to do through Connect Now. You literally just go onto your Connect page, go to the marketing tab and set up the button. Everything gets connected and gets linked straight back to your calendar so that you're not constantly replying to those messages through Facebook, through Instagram. You're not missing anything. You don't have to worry about constantly being on your phone and getting back to that 10 p.m. message and then worrying that if you're only replying to it in the morning, you've missed the chance of that appointment. Those appointments can be made for you constantly ticking over in the background. And it's also a great way to turn your likes into actual bookings. You know, you're posting on Instagram, you're posting on Facebook, but it sort of gives that call to action to actually, you know, that person that liked the nails you did, that person that liked the balayage, there's actually a way they can book straight away. So it's important to actually convert your hard work on social media into actual physical bookings and into actual revenue. Reserve with Google. So to set up Reserve with Google, you will need to set up a Google My Business page. It's simple to do. You just need to Google My Business. But any issues, do just get in touch with us and we can help you with setting that up. From the 1st of December until the 1st of December 2021, all Reserve with Google bookings can be made on 0% commission. So nothing whatsoever. So it's a really, really great tool to utilize. People can obviously see your Google reviews. It's also linked down to your Treatwell reviews. So all of those reviews you've worked so hard to build up, again, you can turn into actual bookings. So people are reading the great stuff about you. People are reading about the great work that you've done, rather than that just becoming just something that they know. You can actually monetize those reviews. So that is another avenue for you to consider and definitely set up. So if you are utilising a lot of online booking channels, you want to make that experience as seamless as possible. You want to list all of your available services. If there's a scenario where you're, for example, listing half of your menu, people won't know that you know everything that you do. So say, for example, somebody saw a great balayage that you did on your Instagram channel. They might, if you don't list your full services, they might not then be inclined to convert into making other bookings. So it's really important to sell yourself. You also need to ensure that there are descriptions on all of your treatments. I think a lot of the time for perhaps something like a facial, maybe nail art, people may not be as familiar with what you do as you are. And with you not there to physically explain what a treatment involves, it may make your booking conversion a little bit lower. So on Connect, we do actually have a facility to put in detailed descriptions for every single treatment that you perform. So say, for example, for a facial that's got many steps to it, you can literally go in there and say, this is what it involves, these are the results you should be expecting, this is who it's suitable for. And the more information you give your potential clients, the more you empower them to actually make that first, second, third booking with you. Breaking your pricing down, this is something that's quite common for hair. I think you often charge for medium, long, short hair. We want to, again, empower the client to know exactly what it is that they're booking for to make them feel secure in making that booking. So, if you charge for medium, long and short hair, you can detail, what medium hair means to you, what short hair means to you. You just want to give the client all of the information that you possibly can to make them feel secure in making that booking with you. And also use familiar language. I know that a lot of the time there might be a treatment that you've got an internal name for. So you may have a stylist that does a Dorothy special. Internally, you know what a Dorothy special is, but you need to sort of put that into layman's terms for those clients booking with you so that again, they feel secure, they feel confident, they feel empowered, knowing exactly what it is that you're booking. I think this is a really important part of making your menu the best it can be. Just give all of the information you can in the most simple language. So, you know, just translating it in dummy terms, basically. And make sure that all services are connected to the right team member as well. On Connect, once you pop a item on your menu, it can be connected to a certain team member. So just ensure that, you know, somebody that does nails in your salon isn't connected to doing hair treatments, just to avoid any double bookings or anything like that. Often it can be quite good to just have a little look through and make sure that everything is connected up correctly. And get QR codes. I think we've all seen them in restaurants. I think there are a few restaurants that actually have a physical paper menu these days. So people are very, very familiar with them and know how to use them. Obviously, it enables easy contactless bookings that will go directly into your Connect calendar. It means that people can keep on top of track and trace. It links to a Book Now button, which again means commission-free bookings. And again, they save you that admin time. And what a lot of our partners have been doing, they've been printing out a QR code with a link to their Book Now button, just sticking it in their window. And as people walk past, they're able to just scan it. And I think especially even now, you know, maybe people are sort of going for a walk to the post office or whatever is open at the moment. They're not able to pop into your salon and grab a price list, but they are able to just scan that QR code and see what your price list is. And again, it's that call to action for a booking. Because I think, yeah, paper price lists, especially at this day and age, you know, that you may not want to be passing paper around and things like that. So QR codes just double up as a price list, and also, again, that call to action to actually make a booking. And most importantly, keep on top of your Connect calendar. So you've ensured that you've got the seamless booking experience. You've got your Book Now buttons everywhere. They're on your social media, they're on your website, you've got a QR code in your window. But for this to be seamless and for your clients to have a beautiful experience, you need to make sure that you've got an online calendar set up that is accurate. So your availability is what it says it is. You know, you want to make sure that your clients have that availability available to them 24/7, and you're avoiding double booking. So when you've got an appointment, make sure you're popping into the calendar. But I think when you've got online booking as well, when people are booking online, that happens automatically. So encouraging your clients to book online as much as possible ensures that that hard work is done for you. So yeah, keeping on top of your calendar, I think, is the most important thing to make sure that the online presence that you've worked so hard to build stays good and stays reputable, because double bookings, I think, can be one of the most detrimental things to, you know, your reviews. So I think it's such an easy thing to do. It's such an easy thing not to do. So just making sure that you're on top of your diary to ensure a seamless booking experience, and then it all comes together beautifully. And I think that's over to Kate.
Thank you so much. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can increase your reach with the content that you're actually posting on your social media channels specifically. So getting your content right is super important. So we've highlighted a few things that you can think about here in terms of coming up with ideas for content, because I think that's quite often the most difficult place to start, is not really knowing what content to post. So some suggestions that we have is to give advice. So give your opinion on a recent trend or beauty space. You know, something like brow lamination, for example, came up last year. It absolutely exploded online. So if that's a service that you decided to offer, but you're not talking about it on your social channels, your customers won't know what it is. They're not going to book it. So anything like that where you are the expert and you can lead people into booking these cool new treatments that are coming available, then definitely start by posting and giving your advice on what you think about these upcoming trends. The next one's team spirit. So we at Treatwell love to do this as well. We love to post about our brand culture and what we're doing in the office, when we are in the office, which isn't very much this year, but when we are together, we always post about our team spirit. It helps people to see what kind of company we are. And equally, that's the same for you guys in your salons. It helps your clients see you and your team in action, or just having fun. It makes it look like a fun place to be. It makes people want to book and be involved in that. The next one is the work. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the biggest drivers to actually drive online bookings through your channel is your work. We recently just updated a feature on the marketplace called the lookbooks, which is also super important because we found so many people guided by imagery in terms of what they book. And it could be the difference between a booking and a not a booking. If you are really skilled at something, or you've done treatments that are amazing in terms of hair coloring or lashes, or even just a testimonial of a result that you've gotten through a holistic therapy that you've given, that's really, really important. And that's a real driving force to getting new clients through your social media channels. Obvious one is special offers. So if you've got something new coming out, new treatments, you're offering something to your regular customers, to your followers, always post about it and shout about it on your social media. And another really clever one is to buddy up. So do you have any other local businesses that you're friendly with or you can collaborate with? A way to really increase your reach on social media is to buddy up with them. Do something like a giveaway where you can get people really engaging with your content, engaging with your social media. Some of the algorithms on social media really favor behavior like that, where people are saving posts, commenting on posts, where it's actual things going on rather than just content being delivered and likes happening. So definitely buddy up with some local businesses around you to see whether you can collaborate and get both of your social media following up and doing it together. So Instagram is obviously a really big driving force in the social media channel for our industry, mostly because it is so visual. So we've given you just some tips. You can use this across many, many social channels as well. So don't think it's just for Instagram. But we've given you some tips here as to how to really take the best photos to add as content, because you want to be putting out as much content as possible. So firstly, cleaning up. So sounds obvious, but you want to make sure that when you are making your salon look Instagrammable, that there are nothing that anyone wouldn't want to see online. It has to look perfect. You want to show that your clients, that your salon looks like that all the time as much as possible. So make sure that any corner that you are taking photos for your Instagram page or any social media page, everything looks as perfect as it can be. The next one is about light. So making sure it's nice and bright and clear. It's a nice, bright, sunny day. You've got lots of natural light as well, rather than synthetic light. You can add filters and you can change up how it looks afterwards, but you want to make sure that the light is the best that it can be when you're taking the photograph. You want to make sure your furniture is looking good. So a couple of statement pieces. Dorothy's very good at this. I'm not so much. You want to make sure that you've got some real statement bits of furniture, anything that makes your space look and feel unique. Mirrors are a big one. So you can see in the photo there, nice big round mirrors are super trendy at the moment. They create an illusion of space. It helps to reflect light. It helps to make your salon look brighter, look bigger. So anything that makes your salon stand out in terms of furnishings, definitely add it in there. And also don't be camera shy yourselves. Shots with you and your team help to bring your salon to life. So we really encourage our partners to put photographs of themselves, of their team, of everyone together on their marketplace page, but also their own social pages, their own booking pages as much as possible. And that's because people like to know who they're booking in with. They like to see you. Then there's a face behind the business then, and you look a little bit more friendly and wanting to come into. So always include yourself, members of your team in all of the photos, as many photos as you can online. So where I just mentioned furniture, we're going to talk a little bit about aesthetics. So some top tips from us is to choose 3 words that really represent your brand. And if you haven't even got that far, really just have a think, or maybe do it as a task between you and your team at the moment as to what you think your brand really is and what it represents, and then come up with those 3 words together. Then everything on your social media page should be representative of those 3 words. So here we've got examples of feminine, bright, modern, masculine, edgy, retro. That way you're keeping your social media page really, really uniform and it gives you a really nice brand and aesthetic. And if you have a more consistent and uniform feed, you're more likely to get that follower list going up, as people tend to follow things that follow that consistency and that theme. We are a beauty industry after all, so we should be good at stuff like this. So do definitely have a think about what your branding looks like. And then just some more advice in terms of hashtags and how you can make, you know, your content relevant for you. So always try to share your opinion, always try and show your expertise, always involve your followers. So as I said, getting some giveaways on, encouraging people to comment or do polls on your stories, but every single day you should post at least one bit of content that has some kind of social media following, getting people actually involved in your page and getting people engaging with it. You can include relevant hashtags. So we have some examples of some there, and we'll go into more detail. I think one of the questions was about hashtags, so we can help you out in terms of where to start with that a little bit later. And then encouraging conversation as well. So like I said, with polls, with a Q&A on your stories, anything like that really helps to drive the engagement up on your page. So then I'm just going to go through how to interact online with your current and future clients. So using some of those tips in terms of content and how to actually turn that into action. So with your repeating clients, you want to encourage them to leave reviews and post your treatments and engage with the social media for you. So you can actually use that to create some compelling content. So if you have someone that's come in who's really pleased with their nails, get them to snap it up on their Instagram, tag you in it, and then you can repost that, and that's already a bit of great content that you're posting that day, as well as a testimonial, which makes you look super good. Ensure that you're inputting all of your client details onto Connect. As Katrina touched on earlier, Connect helps to take a lot of hard work away from you. So using Connect helps you to interact with your online clients and turn them into repeat ones. We are doing so much behind the scenes to help drive that for you. So just by inputting the correct details in there, you've got tons of automated emails that are for your salon specifically, going out to those clients to remind them to rebook, to encourage them to rebook with you again. We are on your side with this, and we want them to be coming back to you. You can create an online form as well. So this is especially relevant at the moment, but for anything where you might want to offer a disclaimer or anything you need to record in advance, you can record an online form so that you can get that information from your clients. You can send your clients offers and discounts. So we have a marketing tab in Connect. We also have an emailing function from the client list section. So you can filter and choose whether you want people that say haven't been in the last 3 months or last 30 days. You can target people that have only been in once, have only been in twice, and you can send them specific email offers and try and get them through the door. So you're really using online tools to interact with clients to turn them into repeating ones. And also responding to all of your online reviews. So the good, the bad, and the ugly. You want to make sure you're responding to all of them. It's something that we quite often have conversations with our partners about. We know that it's super upsetting, especially when you get a bad review and you just really want it gone. And quite often, more often than not, people are disagreeing with it and saying, you know, I can't believe that's happened. And we know how damaging they can be for businesses if people are posting bad reviews online. Our advice is always to respond to it, whether you agree with it or not. Always respond to it and take the time out to really engage with that customer and find out what went wrong, because then it almost reverses the effect of a bad review, is the way that business responds to that bad review. So I think we've all had experiences where we've seen bad reviews on other reviewing platforms for various other businesses, and it, you know, you can often read into a review and see whether or not it's something that changes your opinion, but more often than not, the way that that business has responded to it will make you think, actually, what that person has said is not that important to me, but the fact they've offered a great customer service afterwards is really important to me. Perfect. So the next one is online engagement with your potential clients. So back to your social media, if people are commenting on posts, asking questions, just make sure you are being as interactive as possible, even if it's just pressing the like button to engage with that person who's left you a comment. Again, comment on other people's social media pages who's interacted on yours. So if you've got new followers, businesses that are similar to yours, interact with their page, they'll interact back. It's that kind of interaction that really, really works in your favor in a lot of these social media algorithms. share other people's posts to your story and tag them to get their attention. So if you really like something that someone's doing, if they've done a piece of work that's really inspired you and your team, then definitely tag them in it and try and get their attention for that. See if they might repost it, because again, your content will then be delivered to a whole other group of followers from that person's social media account. So always try and engage with as many other accounts as possible. And again, keep your social media active. So I would normally say have a few of you doing it. It's a lot of work for one person to keep social media super active and get the content on there. Keep regular posting, keep updates, keep everyone as informed as possible. I think a lot of people update more with stories these days than they do actual posts, but it's just keeping it alive and keeping it at the front of everyone's feed rather than way at the back because you're not updating it enough. Now I'm going to hand back over to Dorothy to go through our social media checklist.
Hello. So we've just compiled a few tips here in the form of a checklist. So obviously this webinar is going to be recorded so you can check back and follow through with this. But it's basically just to get you started on making sure that you're taking advantage of social media, and just not to forget kind of some of the basic things like good quality photos, using a range of different media, making sure that you're being interactive, everything that Kate has kind of covered in depth. But this is just a reminder. So please do save this. Maybe you can screenshot the recording or something like that and actually follow it as regularly as you can. I also just wanted to mention that we will be sending a follow-up email straight after this webinar to everybody that's attended. And it will have loads of really relevant links to our partner YouTube channel with some relevant tutorials of some of the items that we've covered during this webinar. So do check that out because it's super useful and really easy to follow. And we'll also be sending out a few other useful links, such as previous ebooks that we've written on creating great content, and also a little link if you do want to reactivate your reserve with Google. So yeah, check out that email afterwards because it's got a lot of really useful content on it that we hope will help you. So we'll just move into our Q&A section. So we had a couple of questions submitted prior to this webinar, and obviously we've had a few questions submitted as well during the webinar that we'll try and answer. So the first question is, how do I know which hashtags to use and where can I find them? So Kate actually yesterday came up with a great piece of advice, which is there are some online websites that you can search which hashtags within your kind of area are most popular, and also the hashtags that are related to them. So that if you just Google hashtag finder, you'll be able to find a website like that that can help you, and then you can simply copy and paste those hashtags, which is really useful. Another way of doing it is looking at other salons and other kind of beauty leaders that are hashtagging below their post. And I'm quite sneaky. I often go onto Instagram web and just copy and paste those hashtags into a Word doc or something like that, and then paste them into my posts. And don't be afraid to use too many. You can use as many as you like, and it's absolutely fine. So just make sure that they're all related to whatever you're posting about, or the industry. And yeah, you should get more kind of likes and comments and interaction on your posts from those. So the next one is Katrina, I think.
So will online bookings cost me more money? No, I suppose in short. So with both Reserve with Google, booking buttons through Facebook, Instagram, your website, we don't charge any commission for those bookings. And I do think it's actually worth noting that with the time that, you know, a lot of our partners would have traditionally spent before they joined us, replying to things like Facebook messages, emails, Instagram messages, I do think it's worth noting that your time is money as well. So, you know, it's time that you're spending working. So I do think that, you know, there's that monetary savings that you're not actually spending anything with the 0% booking charges. But also you're actually saving money by not spending your time by replying to messages and putting those bookings in. So I think it's a big cost saver overall, because time is money, as we all know. I also want to touch on, there was also a question from Roxanne. Thank you, Roxanne. Is there a Google book button? Does that work like a widget? Essentially, yes. So in terms of there's no commission. If a client chooses to prepay online, there's a 2% handling fee. But on Google, I believe that you can actually only make bookings that you pay over at the venue, so commission free completely.
Perfect. So the next question is, how do I get started with Reserve with Google, which I hope lots of you will want to do after finding out that it's commission free. It's quite easy to do. So I think we touched on it earlier. What you need to do is make sure that your business is registered with Google My Business. So what that means is that you are creating a business account with Google to show that you are an existing business. It will create you a Google Places. So you could probably see it. We touched on it slightly earlier. There was an example from one of our salons in Kensington. But if you were to Google a business, there's often a little sidebar which will tell you all of the business information about that, where they are, contact details, reviews. That's what a Google My Business account is. And once you have one of those, your account will automatically be linked with Reserve with Google so that you can accept online bookings. If you have any problems at all setting it up or get confused along the way, do just get in touch with us, and one of our team can help to walk you through it.
Great. So I don't think there are any other questions that have been asked that haven't been answered already. So we just want to say a big thank you for joining. We really do appreciate it. And we hope that it's given you some really useful and actionable information. As I said, look out for that follow-up email, and perhaps spend your day having, if you're not too busy, sorry, having a little look at our YouTube channel, and just taking in some of the tutorials on there, because they are really useful. And, you know, get in touch anytime with us. We're always here to talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.